Alright, first off, most all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yashai, Bashem Kodash. Yahweh is the name of the Father in heaven, the Most High, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the Son, the same one you call Jesus Christ. Those are the Hebrew names. And we want to say double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS, Great Millstone, and all the brothers, whether the highways and the byways of the work of the Most High, diligently in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. Alright, it's another video again on GMS, Great Millstone, frequently asked questions. GMS FAQ for short. Alright, so the question that is being asked is reincarnation. What is reincarnation and how? And is reincarnation something biblical? Right, straight on to the point. Yes, it is biblical and it is in the scriptures, no doubt. Alright, so we're going to prove that to the scriptures. But first, we could get the full understand what is reincarnation, because reincarnation, you have a lot of meaning out there where people have for reincarnation. The Chinese them believe say, oh, you'll come back as some form of insect, as some form of bird, right? And we're going to the definition of the scriptures. Well, not the really definition of the scriptures, but reincarnation in full perspective as it is concerned regarding the scriptures. So we're going to that, we're going to the word reincarnation, and we're going to the scriptures where actually defend or back or prove that reincarnation do actually exist. Alright, so the first scripture I'm going to go to is Ecclesiastes. Alright, but first let us look up the word reincarnation. So this is the etymology online, etymology going at the root words. If you want to know what words come from, and give you a more in-depth meaning of where words come from, and when it change, it go back into the Greek. And the Latin is a good study tool that you can use to actually find the meaning of words. Right, so we could type in reincarnation or reincarnate. Oh, shoot. Offline. So just go ahead for that real quick and then let's see if we can come back. Alright, it's still there. Alright, let's see if we can. So the word reincarnation in the etymology, right? It's the fact of repeated incarnation state of being embodied anew. From re mean back or again, that are the word re and the word reincarnation. Because we have to understand so the English word is made up of several different other languages. And you have to go into the root word, which part the word come from to make that word. Or if you make up that word with art, and part of the word that is used is re, and re mean what? But because if you break up English words, some of them would join, if you know the meaning of the root word or the meaning of each word, you can actually know the meaning of the word. Right? For the word reincarnation, the word re mean back. Right? Or again. And the incarnation, Latin incarnare, be made flesh. right? Or carnis, which is flesh. So the word re mean back and in, and carnate, go back to the Greek word, go back to the Latin word carnis, it means flesh. So the word reincarnation, it just simply means back in flesh. Alright, so let's go to the scriptures. And the first scripture is Ecclesiastes 1 and verse start at 4. It said, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So the entire book of Ecclesiastes 1 go down, the first chapter, it is talking about the cycle of life, how things work. Right? It says one generation passeth and another passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose. The wind goeth towards the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuit. Right? So that is the cycle of life. Right? It's the river runs into the sea, yet the sea is not full unto the place from whence the river cometh. Rivers come, thither they return again, and that what they call it? They call it the water cycle. Right? It's all things are full of labor, man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. So the thing that hath been, the scripture said, it is that which shall be. Right? So whatever is done, it will happen again. It's like life itself is a cycle. It is that which shall be, and that which is done, it is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So nothing at all under the sun is new. Right? It said, is there anything wherefore it may be said, see, this is new, it had been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance. No, we have to understand, and you have to put things into perspective, and you have to actually think when I hear certain things supposed to ring a bell. No, when it said there is no remembrance, who can remember things? Right? What have the ability to remember things? Right? It must be something living. It must be a living creature. Right? And that is man. He said there is no remember of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come, with those that shall come after. Right? So man remember things. So it has say there is no remembrance of former things. So in the past life, because I'm going to speak that way, now so you understand where I come from. In the past life, the things that will happen, you're dead, your spirit go back to the heavens, and the dust go back to the earth. As a matter of fact, let me find the scripture there. I think it's 12. No. So you see is Ecclesiastes verse 12, chapter 12 verse 7. It said, then shall it dust return to the earth as it was. This is when it die. The dust go back to the earth, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. And if God want to put the spirit in our next body, and to born as a baby, and to come back and grow and do what it's supposed to do, the most I can do that. You call that reincarnation. which mean back in flesh. So the dust return to the earth and the spirit go back to God. So God can also send back that spirit into a new body. Alright, and you call that reincarnation, back in flesh. Right? So the next scripture. Oh, let me go back here. Ecclesiastes 1. And 11. It said, there is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come, with those that shall come after. Now, who this happened to in the scripture? It happened to John the Baptist. Yeah, alright, let me find a scripture there rather than to quote it. Alright, this is John 1 and 19. It said, this is the record of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who art thou? Because I want to know who John is based on the things them say John do. Right? The things that when they say John do, it was prophesied that a prophet was supposed to come and do these things. Right? It said, and he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Christ. And they asked him, what then art thou, Elias? So they must say, yo, are you Elijah? And he said, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he said, no. Why? John said all of this because the scripture said there is no remembrance of former things, nor things to come. Right? So them ask him, and why the scribes and the Pharisees would ask questions like these if them never believe in a reincarnation? Why them gonna ask him if him a Elias? Why them gonna ask him if him a any other prophet? The only way them ask that question is unless them believe in a reincarnation, that the spirit come back as a different person carrying out certain work that it was prophesied to do, or that it was sent to do. Right? Let me go to 1 Corinthians. Hold that real quick. 14 and 32. It says, and the spirit of the prophet are subject to the prophets. Right? So the prophet them, John, not Elias, it was prophesied that John was supposed to come and make. Alright, let me just find it and read it rather than quote it again, because I don't want to say, oh, my people will say, look here, you say that. The Bible don't say that. So I could find it and read it. And they asked him, start back at 21, and they asked him, what then art thou, Elias? And he said, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, no. Then said they unto him, who art thou? What that we may give an answer to them that sent us. What sayest thou of thyself? He said, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make straight the way of the Lord, as said the prophet Isaiah. So it go all the way back from Isaiah, from Elijah. Right? So it go all the way back to the prophecies that was prophesied by Isaiah. Alright. So them ask him if him a Isaiah. Him say no. Them ask him if him a great prophet. Them say no, because them know so the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. So him will come back and him will do the same thing them or him will do that was prophesied of him to come and do, because him that carry out all of that act. So them ask him that question. And the reason why them ask him is because they believe in a reincarnation. If they never believe in a reincarnation, them wouldn't ask him if he's Elias. Right? Them wouldn't ask him that. Alright. Let us find out who was John the Baptist. Alright, this is Matthew 17 verse 10. And his disciple asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is come already. So Christ said, Elijah come already. And they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist. So Elijah come back as John the Baptist. When them asked John the Baptist if he was Elijah, him say no. Why? Because as the scripture say in Ecclesiastes 1, it said there is no remembrance of former things. So him not going to remember if him Elijah, and just know that spirit come down upon him for what? Make way for the coming of Yahushua, to prepare that path for him. And the disciples them know the prophecies, them see him do that. So them ask him, but when him say no, I am not Elijah. Right? Him say, what? I am the one that made the way. But the prophecies said the one that made the way is Elijah. But him never know that. Right? Him never know that. Let me just go to 2 scripture real quick to just drive home the point that reincarnation do exist in the scriptures. This is Job 19 verse 26. It says, and though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God, because I'm going to come back in flesh. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit that will go back to God will give it. According to Ecclesiastes. And the spirit that will come back in our body, and him will go see Yahushua coming in glory. Next scripture real quick. John 9 verse 2. This is John 9 and 2. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Now, we all know the reason why he was born blind, because Christ, Yahushua, explained it. Right? But the question of them asks is, who did sin why he was born blind? This man, if he was born blind, when get the sin? How him sin? Right? They might talk about in them past life, because them know so you do things and you come back lame. You come back, certain things affect you because of your past sins. Right? So them ask him, who sin? Him or him parents? Because if he was born blind, where him get time for sin? Right? Them ask them question here because them know, them believe and them understand that look here, the spirit actually come back in flesh. Them believe in a reincarnation. Okay, next scripture real quick and let me just wrap it up. Matthew 16 and 28. He said, verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Now, this was 2,000 years ago. Right? This was 2,000 years ago. Now, if him says someone was stand up in front of me today, now I go dead. But sure him no mean like them I go live for 2,000 years until them see me come. No, that don't make no sense. It simply mean them are gonna come back in a flesh. Them are come back in a this time. Just like Job, them are come back in a this time, and when them come, them are gonna see him. Right? So, hope this video was edifying to the elect. And with that, I want to say all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashman, Shai Bashman, Kakodash, double honors to the apostles of GMS and all your brothers within the highways and the byways that do the work of the most and sincerity and in truth. Shalom.